I'm definitely not the biggest Godzilla fan, but it's a cool character and I've seen a couple of the movies. So I figured, oh, a new animated one. I could watch that. I was in the mood for some fun, mindless action and expected to see Godzilla do his thing for 90 minutes. Well, that's not exactly what I got. This is something very different. First of all, it starts off with this dense monologue, throws a lot of info at you. All at once, and it's a lot to absorb, but I kinda got the gist of it. And then I was ready to get into some action. Well, that didn't happen, because pretty much nothing happens in the first 30 minutes. And they keep throwing more and more info at you, and you're just trying to keep up and make sense of it. And then eventually some things start to slowly happen. But it's like 45 minutes into it before it actually kicks into gear. And then it gets pretty epic, and I was enjoying it for a couple of minutes. Then all the action sort of fades into the background again for another 30 minutes. And there's more talking and philosophizing about all sorts of things. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's definitely not what I wanted or expected from a Godzilla movie. But I guess the real issue here is the way everything's presented. Because the characters in this don't really do anything, except observe. They just sort of stand around watching things unfold, and don't really have any agency over the situation. And technically there is one main character, but we're never really given much reason to care about him. Or to get invested in him and his story. And he doesn't really do anything either. Until the very end, like the last 15 minutes. Then he eventually does a couple of things. Literally like 2 things that has any impact on anything in the entire movie. And he's the only character that really does anything. So for 95% of the movie, you're watching people watch things happen and talk about it. And this thing really comes across as some sort of philosophy thesis on humanity, written by someone who's in love with the Godzilla mythology. Now there's some really great stuff actually involving Godzilla in there too, but that's like 5-10 minutes of the whole movie, and I wish there was a lot more of it, because it's actually really cool, and that's what I came to see. And Godzilla in this is about as awesome as I hoped he would be. And they really ramped up the stakes to pretty absurd levels here, which I definitely liked. But Godzilla's mostly just in the background and barely does anything at all. And I'd almost compare this more to like a political or military thriller than anything else, with several factions plotting and making moves behind the scenes, except they managed to somehow make it pretty damn uninteresting and actually kinda inconsequential. And a lot of that has to do with the lack of compelling characters, and the fact that no one seems to have really any power over the situation, but also the way everything's presented in this strange detached way. I never felt like I was in it. I always felt like I was just observing too, and that really stopped me from engaging with the movie. But if this thing's mostly just talking, what are they talking about? Mainly humanity, God, religion, a lot of Godzilla mythology and technical stuff, but I feel like the main thing here is mankind and his relationship with technology. And I get the feeling the writers aren't huge fans of where we're heading. You know, the general trajectory we're on and the constant pursuit of innovation. But that's sort of what we do as a species. We innovate and make new, more advanced things. And well, there's some good stuff in this movie, but overall it's pretty damn boring. I mean, if you're really into the whole Godzilla mythology, this might be interesting to you. But this is definitely not a movie for a mainstream audience. So would I recommend it? Nope, it's pretty safe to skip this one. But hey, you can do whatever you want, because I'm not your dad.